We have question number 4. Okay, as you can find, he said the writer wants to express crudeness. Which choice best accomplishes this goal? As you can find this also, it's related to word choice. Crudeness is the natural state. So let's read first number 4 to find out. He said in a, we need a word, whether you're going to keep this or you're going to change it. In a quaint cabin, in a clearing, in the wilds of that section which was once the hunting ground, and later the battlefield of the Cherokees and other warlike tribes, and which the Indians ourselves had named Kentucky because it was dark and bloody ground. The Great War President in the United States, after whose name history has written the word emancipator, first saw the light. Okay, as you can find here in this question, immediately we have two things. He asked about the word choice and asked about something that relate to pronoun antecedent. And you remember, I told you before that we can do a kind of hypothesis, not a kind of real, that maybe one of them is no change. So let's find, is here the word in number 4, the word quaint, related to crudeness? Related to crudeness means natural state? No. Quaint means unfamiliar. It's not related. So it's not. Let's look at massive. Massive means large. It doesn't mean natural state. Primitive means primary or original. Yes, or primitive. It can be pronounced both. So it can be like the animals or like whoever start as a pioneer when they go to new area. They start building a kind of primary house, original house. Yeah, it can be replaced by crudeness. Solemn means depressing. No, so the answer is C. This relates to word choice. The question after is number 19. Again, word choice. But here's something different from the other one. The other one, we have a goal that we need to accomplish. Here, no goal. So we can put looking at the connotation first, then the denotation dictionary. As you can find here in number 19, incorrectly negative, absently negative, unexpectedly negative, duly positive means properly. Now, I'm going to choose the odd one out, but as I told you, the odd one out is not going to work in the EST. It's not going to work in the EST. You must be sure of the sentence. So let's find it needs positive or negative. He said, it's unnecessary to enter into a description of the various kinds of drawing boards in use. Because if the student purchases one, he will be what informed of the kinds and their special features. He said unnecessary to ask about them. But when he come to buy one of them, he's gonna be informed. So this is gonna be positive, duly or properly. The question after is number 24. Okay. Again, word choice. All our mistakes today, word choice. Which word is synonyms with acquaintances and best suit the meaning of the paragraph? Okay. You know the acquaintances, it can be families, it can be relatives, it can be some kind of thing that we know. But he said also best suit the meaning of the paragraph. Let's go to 24. It's here. He said life and radiation are old acquaintances and have learned to live together. So enemies know because this negative. Strangers also know because this negative. Associates it can be. And friends it can be. But according to the meaning, we can't say that life and radiation are going to be friends. They are associates. Associate. because they live together. They learn to live together. The question after is 29. Okay, punctuation. Wanna be sure? No, it's not punctuation. It's not punctuation because it's not the same sentence. It's written something inside. So here, 29. I think you need the same example because you need the word like. So it's evidence, supporting evidence, I'm sorry, and examples. Okay, let's read it together to find out what he wants. He said they are more energetic than sunlight, however, and can do more damage. And because our senses don't detect them, okay, don't detect them. Then he said something and said, no, learn to take precautions against them. Okay, we need something that resemble what he mentioned, but we cannot, or our senses don't detect them. Let's find the first one. He said, we, like slow turtles in a race, have. Okay, if he said don't detect them, how we're gonna be like slow turtles in a race? How we're gonna be like slow turtles in the race? Okay, slow turtles in a race doesn't mention that we can't detect them. No, we can detect them because they have footprints. B, we like trained assassins in battle. Have. Even the trained assassin, they're gonna leave traces. No, we need something that we cannot. We like lazy cats in bed. Even they have. They have something that to detect them. We like legless fish on land have. Yes, because the legless fish on land, they don't have legs. So no prints are gonna leave. So like that, we cannot detect them. So the answer is D. The question after is 32. In 32, as you can find, is pronoun antecedent agreement. Here, as you can find, he said, to shift the balance clearly in favor of the good, to shift the balance clearly in favor of the good, this is a modifier. So we need here subject verb. We need here subject verb. So it's necessary for mankind to learn. We don't have subject verb in the first one. It is, yes, subject verb. They are subject verb. They're no. So we are between B and C. We want to be sure that it's singular or plural. So again, to shift the balance clearly in favor of the good, for mankind to learn as much as possible about the new dangers in order that we might minimize them and most effectively guard against them. So here, he's not talking about something especially. He's talking about a concept. So it's better to say it is necessary, not they are. The question after is 37. Okay. The author wants to express something unventured. Unventured. Which choice best accomplish this goal? So here, it can be word choice or relevance and purpose, but it's word choice better. We need the author wants to express something unventured. Which choice best accomplish this goal? Again, he got just give us a word and he want the same meaning for it. He want the same meaning for it. As you can find 37, it's alone here. 37. It's alone here. So let's find a word that equal to the word unventured. Unventured. The first thing that we have to ask ourselves, what does it mean unventured? Un means not, but what the meaning of ventured? Anybody knows? I'm gonna tell you. Ventured means like to be voluntary to face any danger. Like he's not afraid. So unventured is gonna be afraid. Unventured is gonna be afraid. So it's fine. They left no form of expression. Then he said unclear. And to none could they say, this will perfectly convey my meaning. Okay, I need something that they are afraid. Unclear is not. Untried, so they don't try. So they are afraid. Unimportant, no. Unyielding means unproductive. Unproductive. So it's untried. Untried means afraid to try. Okay. The question after is question 38. Which choice best introduce the paragraph and match the author writing style? This is topic, transition, and conclusion sentences. So I need a kind of introduction for this one. So as I told you before, in the introduction, we have to read. We have to read the conclusion, and the sentence after. Let's find here. He said what? It would be absurd, ridiculous, therefore, to treat the Florentine painter as a mere link between 2 points in a necessary evolution. The last sentence. But because Florentine painting was preeminently an art formed by great personalities, it grappled with problems of the highest interest and offered solutions that can never lose their value. So he talked about the characteristic of Florentine painter. Let's find the first one. The immense superiority of the artist, even to his greatest achievement in any one art form, mean that his personality, yes, I talk about personality, was but slightly determined by the particular art in question, which art? The Florentine. That he tended to mold it rather than let it shape him. Yes, he talked about the personality and he talked about Florentine. So it can be. Let's look at B. This is his everlasting claim. This is a claim, the beginning, to greatness. And it's this which will make him a source of highest aesthetic delight for a period, at least as long as these verbal traces of his handwork remain on moldering panel or crumbling wall. It doesn't talk about the personality. Well, it was of the power to stimulate the tactile consciousness of the essential, as I have ventured to call it, in the art of painting that Giudo was supreme master. It doesn't talk about the personality and doesn't talk about especially Florentine painter. At the risk of seeming to wander off into the boundless domain of aesthetics, we must stop at this point for a moment to make sure that we are of one mind regarding the meaning of the phrase artistic pleasure, insofar at least as it's used in connection with painting. It doesn't talk about that. So the answer is A because it mentioned the words. The last question is 39. Which of the following best conclude the paragraph and transition to the next section? Thank you again. It's topic, transition, and conclusion sentences. The same thing. He wants something in 39 that to conclude this paragraph, I don't know where the paragraph actually, but to conclude the paragraph, so I think it's related to this one, and to be a kind of transition to the next sentence. Okay, let's find to conclude. So we need to read the first. I think we read this before, and we know talk about Florentine painter, and he talk about even the personality of them. Let's find now this one. He said the first of the great personality in Florentine painting was Giotto. Okay, now we know that he talks still about personality. Let's find the first one. In the same unconscious years, we learn to make of touch of the third dimension, the test of reality. No, it doesn't talk about personality, and even it doesn't mention Giotto. The painter must therefore do consciously what we all do unconsciously, construct a third dimension, even it's not mentioned anything. I beg the reader to observe is somehow to stimulate our consciousness of tactile value so that the picture shall have at least as much power as the object represented to appeal to our tactile imagination, even it's not. What they aimed at and what they attained is the subject of the following essay. Maybe he introduced now an essay that is going to come right now, and he talk about painters. He talk about painters and personalities here, so maybe D. So the answer is D. This was for literacy 1. Let's go to literacy 2. As we know that we have to read, we have to read the first plur. The following edited passage is an excerpt from Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. On Joy Sadler's attempt to court Rebecca, so someone wants to get married to another one, Joe to Rebecca. Okay, let's go to question number 3. Question number 2 and number 3 are related to each other and they are evidence. We got number 3 wrong, but we got number 2 right. Again, here we have keywords. It said, which of the following best describe the relationship between Joe Sadler and Rebecca? So I need something. Talk about the relationship between Joe Sadler and Rebecca. Let's go from 1 till 4. Find out. From 1 till 4. Poor Joy's panic lasted for 2 or 3 days, during which he didn't visit the house, nor during that period did Miss Rebecca ever mention his name. But it doesn't talk about the relationship. It doesn't talk about the relationship. From 44 to 45, from it till appearance. From it till appearance. The problem that there is it, so we need to take a sense before. So from here. Once in looking over some drawings, which Emilia had sent from school, Rebecca suddenly came upon one which caused her to burst into tears and leave the room. It was on the day when Joe Sidley made his second appearance, but this doesn't talk about the relationship between them. Let's go after C, from 84 till 87, from except till sharp, 84 till 87. From except, 81, 82, 83, yes, from except till sharp. But it's not complete, so we need to complete it. He said here, old she, so we need to get since before. He said, how kind you are all to me. I think we need also take a sense before, sadly extended hand and kissing it. It take a sense before, so from the beginning. I'm better now, said the girl. Girl is Rebecca. with the sweetest smile possible, taking good-natured Mrs. Sadly extended hand and kissing it respectively. How kind you are all to me, all, she added, Rebecca, with a laugh, except you, Mr. Joseph. Joseph is Joe, sadly. Me, said Joseph, meditating, an instant departure. Gracious heavens, good gad, Miss Sharp. So now we talk about the relationship that she told him that all of them are kind for her except him. So it can be, let's look at the last one. From 93 to 94, from he till Emilia. From he till Emilia, there is he, we need to take a sentence before. So from this one. Yes, how could you be so cruel as to make me eat that horrid pepper dish at dinner the first day I ever saw you? You are not as good to me as dear Amelia. He doesn't know you so well, cried Amelia. So maybe again, this talk about the relationship, but let's find which one is better. He said here, there is animosity between them. No. There are differences. No. There remain tensions between them, both of them even. There are strangers. No. But the tension start appearing in C better. In C better, because Rebecca and Joe start talking in C. Rebecca and Melia talking in D, because Joe left. Joe left in C. Joe left. So the answer is C. The question after is number 13. Let's read the blurb. The following passage is taken from The American Railway by Thomas Clerk et al. On the movement of locomotives in 1888. So it's social science. Let's find question number 13. Again, 13 is evidence. Okay, let's find. It said, according to the passage, which of the following is a drawback to having a standard that rarely change? Okay, we have keywords. We need drawback for standards that they never change. Drawback, disadvantage of a standard that they never change. Let's find from 50 till 53, from and till use. From and till use, but we have and, so we have to take a sentence before. So here we have but, take a sentence before. From this. This organization will be referred to more fully in connection with the Department of Transportation, but the joint use of each other's cards makes it necessary that there should be at least enough similarity in their construction and their coupling appliances to permit their indiscriminate use upon all roads. And conventions of master car builders have recommended certain forms and dimensions as standards. Yeah, he mentions standards here, which are now in general use, but he doesn't talk about any drawback. So let's look at B, 55 till 58, from it till B. From it till B, but there is it, take a sense before, and don't forget that he took care about the standards. There is much convenience in this, but one disadvantage, drawback. It requires almost anonymous action to introduce any change of form or of construction, however advantageous it may be. Yes, they talk about the drawback and they talk about the change, that they never have change. Okay, so maybe 62 till 66, from Still till Coupler. 62 till 66. From Still till Coupler. Still there is progress, though slow, towards several desirable reforms, the most important of which is the adoption of a standard automatic coupler. Is there a standard? But he said that there are reforms, there are change. So it's not. The last one, from 94 to 97, from trouble till schedule. Trouble begins when regular trains cannot keep on schedule, or when extra trains have to be sent out, not provided for on the schedule. Yes, I know that we're talking about drawback. But where that they never change? Where are the keywords that we find here? So the answer is B. The answer is B. Question after that is number 27. So let's read here. As I told you before, the pair passage is better to keep it till the end. The first edit passage is from Animals of the Past by Frederick Locus on the reason animals become extinct. The second edit passage is taken from Our Vanishing Wildlife by William T. Hornday on the abuse of nature. As we said, the question 27 is vocab question. As used in line 100, secure most nearly means. Let's go to 100 and let's read it together. The things that seemingly decent citizens, men posing as gentlemen, will do to do wild game. Wild game means the kind of hunting. When they secure great chances to slaughter are appealing. Okay. So they play wild game to secure. To secure what? As he said, great chances to slaughter, to kill animals. So fasten, no. Ensure, yes. Protect, no. They are not going to protect. Connect, no. So it's ensure. Ensure that they are playing that kind of hunting animals. This for number 27. We have question number 30. Again, evidence. What happened? What happened with the evidence today? Which of the following does the author, passage 1, state as a reason for extinction? So now I need a reason for extinction. Something talk about a reason, a cause for extinction. So let's find from 1 till 4. From it to reply, but take care, it ends with semicolon. We have to extend it. But if you have the second evidence, it's including, we're not going to extend it, but it's not. So from 1 till 4, from it to reply, I'm going to extend it because the semicolon, so till here. It's often asked, why do animals become extinct? But the question is one to which it's impossible to give a comprehensive and satisfactory reply. This chapter doesn't pretend to do so, but merely presents a few aspects of this complicated, many-sided problem. It doesn't talk about any kind of reasons. Doesn't talk about any kind of reasons. So let's find what after. From 8 till 11, from n to another, and again there is a semicolon. There are semicolons, so we have to extend. From 8 till another, so let's extend it. So it's gonna be here. In very many cases, it may be said that actual extermination has not taken place, but that in the course of development, one species has passed into another. Species may have been lost, but the race, just as in the growth of a tree, the twigs and branches of the sapling disappear, while the tree as a whole grows onward and upward. Nothing mentioned here about the reason for extinction. Let's go to after. From 19 till 24, from so till condition. From so till condition. As you can find here, there is so we have to take a since before. This is what we see in the horse, which is the living representative of unbroken line reaching back to the little Eocene Hycrothere. So in general way, it may be said that much of what at first glance we might term extinction is really the replacement of one set of animal by another better adapted to surrounding condition. Yes, this is the reason of extinction. There's going to be a kind of evolution, replacement. So it can be. The last part is from 33 till 39, from such till existence. 33 till 39. From such till existence. Such great and necessary sluggish brutes as Brontosaurus and Diplodocus, with their tons of flesh, small heads, and feeble teeth, were obviously reared in each circumstances and unfitted to succeed in any strenuous struggle for existence. Doesn't talk about the reason for extinction. So this answer, it's mainly C. The question after 39. Let's read the blurb. The following edit passage is taken from the Federalist Papers by Alexander Hamilton on the general power of taxation. History. Question 39. Throughout the passage, the author never takes the opportunity to this is a tone question. Tone question. And this kind of tone question is the hardest. Why? Because you have to read the whole thing. You have to read the whole passage to find out what it wasn't mentioned. It looks like the question that everything is mentioned except the same thing. He said that everything is mentioned here, something is never. If you're going to look, you're going to find that he never provided definition, but we're not going to read the whole text because it's going to take time. The last question in your mistakes is 44, the last passage. The following edit passage is taken from Our Common Insects by A.S. Packard on the early stages of the humblebee, scientific one. Question 44, again, evidence. Today is the evidence day. Today is the evidence day. He said, which point does the author use to suggest that the work of newer entomologists, there's a scientist, differ from that of the older generation? So I need now keywords. We have keywords to search for. I need something to talk about work of newer scientists that different from old generation. Let's read directly from 9 to 14 because the same thing happened in the previous question. From 9 till 14. And it's complete. From 9 till 14. He said the older entomologists divided insects into hostulate or sectorial and mandibulate or biting insects, the butterfly being an example of one, and the beetle serving to illustrate the other category. Okay, here he mentioned older. So how you are different from older? He mentioned here the older, and even it matches the thing that is up. Zain, any question? Zain, hello.
Yes, Mister, I'm with you.
Any questions?
No.
Malak, any questions?
No, thank you, Mister.
Okay. Let me stop recording and send this for you.